Howdy, Possum Patty here, and look who's back. Yes, it's Flat Stanley, and we're going to tell you about the Garnet Trail in Connecticut. Come on along. Well, I knew that garnets could be found in Connecticut because I found some, and I did journal about some on a rock that I found out in the yard. Oh, look who just appeared in my lap. Somebody's mad I'm spending too much time with Flat Stanley. And it's in various rock formations in different places in Connecticut, but I did not know there was the official Garnet Trail of Connecticut. Yes, the Garnet Trail of Connecticut. So I downloaded it off the internet, and let me see if I can put a copy of that into Google Docs and link it, because it's very interesting, and if you live anywhere in the area, you might want to check it out. Now, most of the places are like state parks, and you cannot collect garnets at a state park. No. You don't collect stones at state parks. It's not allowed. You can go and look at them. But there are places in Connecticut, like along the rivers and in road cuts and behind shopping centers, where you get a really good, clear cut of the stone. And you can, of course, chip away at shopping centers because, that's allowed. It's just not allowed in the state parks. So I'm going to go to as many places as I could to collect some of these little garnets. Now, most of the ones that I'm going to find are either going to be crushed or they're going to be tiny, tiny. But Mr. Possum is assuring me that in some places they're a little bit bigger. So I don't care if they're tiny or they're big. Actually, that doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to have some fun in searching them out and seeing where I can discover some garnets. So for my first adventure, Mr. Possum and Stanley met us there in the TARDIS, and I went to Lisbon Landing, which is a shopping center, and boy, did they really cut into the mountain to make this shopping center. It's actually like up on the side of a mountain like that. And as you drive up to the shopping center, there's you can see the rock formations on both sides, and then behind the Chili's restaurant is where we parked actually. You can see how they've cut into the mountain, and you can see all the rock formations, the geology. The geology in Connecticut is very, very interesting. It's a mess. Yeah. If you look at the geological map of Connecticut, it is all different colors, all different formations. It's one big jumbly mess because Connecticut was close to the place where continents were colliding and pulling apart and colliding, and little islands were stuck in the middle, and they got formed into the earth here. So it's a place of massive collisions, which has just really deformed the earth, and all these collisions heated up the rock. So there's a lot of metamorphic rock, a lot of rock that's been changed through heat and collisions. It's just very, very interesting, very complicated. I am not an expert. I do not have a degree in geology. I'm just a person who likes to walk around and pick up rocks and put them in my pocket and bring them home, and then maybe try to learn a little about them. So let's get on to the adventure. I'm sitting here staring at the rocks. I'm looking on the internet, and I've got all these books, and I could just do this for hours and hours and hours. So I said, well, I better stop that and start journaling. So I was saying how metamorphic pressures form these rocks. So all the continents, they kind of collided together and formed one giant continent, and they broke apart, and then they crashed into each other again. And at one time, these stones were under a mountain that was higher than the Himalayas. And that mountain had worn down to a point where these rocks were now almost on the surface, but this was, like I said, a road cut. And if you look at the road cut, you can just see layers of different color rocks, and it's all twisted and and swirled, you know, like making a marble cake. And the heat and the pressure makes these rocks soft, and liquid comes out of them and gases come out of them, and they start to flow. And as they cool, they combine in different ways. And if there's a lot of aluminum and some other minerals like that, they form garnets in the rock. Now I'm trying to figure out which rocks are which, and I'm taking some notes, like I said, but I think I'll just do a journal page today about the trip, and then I'm going to study some more of these rocks a little bit closer. But I just wanted to show them to you. And on this one, now, most of these rocks I did not chip off. I did not chip these off, yeah. The water gets into the cracks between the rocks where they made the road cut, and it freezes and thaws, and it splits them, and these rocks are always falling. So you have rock falls all the time. And Mr. Possum was yelling at me to not stand so close because the rocks are always falling off. He didn't want me to get hit on the head. So most of these I actually just picked up off the ground, which was really good because they did have garnets in them. So on this one, you can see how the rock must have melted, softened, and flowed. And you can see how this is going around. And this eye over here, that is I'm looking this up, granulated garnet and biotite schist. So this is the schist, this dark is the schist. You can see right there some red, and all through here this dark red. Now almandine garnets are the Connecticut state mineral, and these are the almandine garnets here. So there was like a whole eye here, but this got broke off right there. But you can see some on the back, right there at the edge. There's a garnet right there. And here's a circle, another eye. And you can see how this light, they're calling this feldspatic, light-colored feldspatic. Right there. And there's all little ones up here. In the book, we're saying a lot of these look like they're crushed because they were under such pressure. There's one right there. But I love this. Looks like an eye. Look at that. Looks like a dinosaur, doesn't it? There's the eye. There's the beak. Or a goose. Could be a goose with a top knot up there. Isn't there a goose that looks like that? I think so. And this is a different kind of rock. This is a biotite schist, feldspatic, or it could be a silicate gneiss. But look at, can you see all those spots? Look at all those spots. Look at all those spots. Those are all garnets in there, and I'll never get them out, but that's okay. Here's another round eye of garnet. I don't even know if these are coming across, but you can see that dark area and those little pink areas. And then there's this other mineral there called starlite, and I think that's what these little black dots are. But I have to do some more research on that. And then there's this one over here that looks like a black thread. Right there, I have to look that up too. Might be the starlight. But everything's just dotted with these little tiny garnets. These little pink garnets and the almandine ones, which are the darker ones. Oh, there's a big one there. Look at that one right there. See that big garnet right there? Okay, I'm going to clear off the rocks and come up with some kind of journal page. I'm going to use a page from Magical Thinking. This is a Recollections, Michael's, clearance, $5. 48 sheets, 12 by 12. And I'm using this because it's beautiful. And it's got a page with, oh, look at this journaling card there. Is that not perfect or what? And I do have that die cut to make crystals too. Look at that. Okay, where are the page with the crystals on it? Well, here's one. I thought there was another one though too. That is very pretty. And there are 2 more of those. I guess that's it. I guess that's it. Oh, I can use this though too. And I probably can use this one. I like this one. And what else can I use? Let's see. I'm not going to use butterflies because it's the winter. It's the winter. Let's see. The pink. Pink. I know I'm using flowers. Oh, and I like this border too. All right, enough. That's too much. Sorry. And this. Okay. We're not doing bloom. Throw that on the floor. I want this. Scissors. And I have no idea when I'm... Oh, you know what? I need to go to my phone and print out a couple of pictures. And I'm just going to journal about the trip. And then I kept these rocks right here because those are my friends right now. And journal about the trip. And then I'll do some nature journaling where I'm just studying the rocks. And I'll do a couple pages of that and probably just come back and show you what I've done. I can use that as a double spread there. I've got 1 page here to put something on, but I've got 2 pages here. And everything's all mixed up anyway. Okay, so let's see. As the background, isn't this paper gorgeous? Or we could do one that color and one this color. All right, I'm going to cut these down and cover these pages, and then I'll be back. I printed out 4 pictures to start with, just to get this going on here. And of course, I have a picture of where we were. There's Mr. Possum for scale, and you can see how the formation is all wavy with bands of dark and light. And that's the kind of formation you find the garnets in. And then I have another one here, Mr. Possum. You can see how tall the cliff is. And he's looking at all the rock fall down there, the debris that kind of tumbles down, because that's where we found all our specimens, along the bottom like that. And this one is Flat Stanley pointing out to one of those granulated garnet eyes right there. You can see it right there. And the last one is me. Actually have my rock hammer right there. And I'm laughing, and Mr. Possum is yelling at me to get out of there because the rocks are going to fall on my head. I have the 2 pages covered. Isn't this paper beauteous? Just love these giant crystals in there. This reminds me of the Zendangles, I think you call them, that Lizzie Brewer was doing. She got a book about Zendangles. I'm going to have to try that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not really sure, maybe 2 pockets. I'm going to put a pink pocket on this beautiful black paper and use that crystal border there like that. I think that'll be really pretty. And I'll journal on this card. And that'll go, I think, in that pocket maybe. And I can put a picture or two on the back. This is a pretty big card. And then on this one, make another pocket. I want to leave this just so I love looking at these images. Do I need to put something across here? I could put a strip of something. This doesn't quite go across the whole paper, or does it? No, it's a little short. But you know what? I bet you there's another strip in the pack. I could do that. All right, I'm going to work on that, and I will be back. Did I say I wasn't going to do butterflies? I did butterflies. So I used this border on the pocket on this side because I had a border on the pocket on that side. I did my journaling following the Connecticut Garnet Trail. First day on the trail, we went to the Lisbon Landing Shopping Center where we saw the Tatnick Hill Formation in the road cut. We saw lots of garnet granulated, I call them eyes. And on the back here I have Stanley pointing to one of the garnet eyes and me with my trusty rock hammer on that side. I was thinking about putting the word sparkle over here, because why not? Garnets do sparkle. Let's see, let's put some tacky glue on this. So I need to do a lot of research and a lot of studying up on what's going on here with these garnets and the light colored rock and the dark colored rock. And I want to put pictures of them in the journal. I was thinking about sketching them too. Mr. Possum telling me that it's getting late. I told him I got a lot of stuff to do here. All right, I'm loving it. The gold on here is reflecting the gold over there. I've got all kinds of flowers and butterflies and crystals and a journaling card. And now I'm going to start a journaling card on this side. I don't know if I'm going to get both sides done or not. Maybe, maybe not. I was thinking of this card. You think that'll be too big? That is really big. That is bigger than the pocket. Oh, that's too bad. What if I folded that in half? What if I folded that in half? See, I was going to write on this black and put this on the other side. I could, and this might make more sense. I could fold one of these in half and put a picture and write. Ooh, that might make sense. Let's see, so how big do I want it? Yeah, so I'm going to have to study the guide to the Garnet Trail, and it talks about all the formations, and, well, I guess I could put the moon on one side and the butterfly on the other side. Got rock debris. I had all the rocks up here. Got my table dirty. It's all good. Good stuff. All good. Good stuff. Never get it quite right. And then I told Mr. Possum we're going to have to go to some of the other sites where you can find the larger garnets, you know, with the, that'll come loose. These are pretty much in the rocks. Really hard to get them out because they're granulated, and I do have this one chip right there, very dark red. That's an almondine garnet. And it's not very shiny because it still has part of the rock on it. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do something with that or not. We shall see. I use the white pencil when I'm marking. I'm going to cut this to size and glue it. Let's see. I'll put it like around there maybe. Paper wants to be folded a certain way. If you take a piece of paper and try to bend it like this and then turn it the opposite way and bend it like that, you're going to find that it's a lot easier to bend it in one direction than in the other direction. You're going to feel a lot of resistance there and not so much this way. So if you fold it the way it wants to be folded, the side without a lot of resistance, you are going to get a totally clean edge. Look at that. Perfect. Now if you try it the other way, it doesn't want to go that way so much, and you fold it this way, the side with the most resistance, you're going to get an edge that has some cracks in it. Can you see the white right there on the edge? Excuse all the glue in my hand. You're going to see that on the edge where this edge is just totally clean. So you should try to fold the paper so you get the clean edge, unless the design is going in the opposite direction. Then what are you going to do? So you see I've got white on this edge of this card. So I can live with that. I am going to move my pencil sharpener so I can get to my ink. Just take some of this black ink, and I think I put the sponge away. As soon as you put something away, then you need it. Maybe I didn't. Oh, no, I didn't put it away. It's still there. So I'm just going to put some black on that edge. See if I can cover that up a little bit. I might as well go all the way around, but I think I'm going to cut the corners, so I'm going to come back and do that after I round the corners. So one place to find the garnets is down by the beach, and I'm excited for that. We'll find a day that's not too cold and windy down by the water. And one is by a river. And I think one is another road cut. But you have to be careful with all the traffic. And then the other ones are in state parks, which we may go look at the garnets, but you can't collect. When we lived in Pennsylvania, we joined the Rock and Mineral Club. And we did get to go on some field trips with people who really knew what they were doing. And that was excellent. Now, I did meet somebody in Connecticut, but he said the Rock and Mineral Club was up in Massachusetts, which is a little too far to go to meetings, but maybe we can join them on some field trips. So do I just want to put these two on the same side? Do I want to put one and journal? All right, I'll be right back. And here's my second journaling card. Here's Mr. Possum there, studying the rock fall. That's what it's called, all these rocks that fall off the cliff there. Looking for rocks with garnets. And on this side, I put a little information about what this formation is. And this is a Taconic Hill Formation near the middle of the Putnam Nashoba terrain. I know, too much information, but it's, you know, all the technological words are, you know, just jargon. But if you think about what happened, that is the interesting part. There was this long, narrow microcontinent. So think of like Japan. And it got caught between two continents that were crashing together, and it got welded to one of the continents, and then the other continent pulled away again. So this little bit of crust from a microcontinent got welded to another continent. So its history, the rocks in this area, are different from the ones surrounding it. The ones surrounding it have a different history than the rocks, say, over here and the rocks over there. So we're in this middle special area of a microcontinent that got welded to another continent. It's just interesting to study how all the continents are shifting around and smashing into each other, and mountains are forming and mountains are eroding away. Okay, I'll be quiet now. I just want to thank you for coming along today for this little rock exploration that we had. And I'm going to do some more rock journaling and some more nature journaling. And so, yeah, happy junk journaling, happy nature journaling. Bye-bye now.